to the wind. The wind knows me. Nature. Clouds high. The birds.
Diana special. I'm not shaking. I'm not. Ooh. Dissipate.
The wind knows me.
strong. Take cover!
Follow the wind. Time to go. one with nature. Compared to the storms I've encountered out at sea, this is really quite tame.
Let's get down to business. The perfect distance.
Fallen leaves, adorn my...
I'll settle this. Take cover! I'm going in!
Time to go. Time to go. Into the wind.
Stand with me!
I must remain calm. The wind moves as one with wind and cloud. Into the wind. One with nature.
Our bond is strong. Stand with me. Our bond is strong.
Follow the wind. Wind Strider. Compared to the storms I've encountered out at sea, this is really quite tame. The wind knows me.
Time to go.
Dissipate! strong!
Follow the wind.
Time to go. That hurt!
One with nature.
Time to go.
Clouds high.
The birds call!
Into the wind.
Be careful. Dissipate.
Look at you! Boom down on the rocks!
The wind knows me.
Everybody stand back!
Fallen leaves, adorn my nights, one with nature. The wind knows me. Not bad. Into the wind. Clouds high, the birds call.
Our bond is strong! Looking for a fight? Lightning Terrified!
The wind knows me.
Stand with me! Dissipate!
Into the wind. Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
Shaken and stirred.
The wind knows me.
Came out in your dream. Huh.
Fine. Time to go. Into the wind. The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds come.
Pew
Teamwork is dreamwork! Out of my way!
Into the wind. Time to go.
Stand with me! Yeah! Our bond is strong! Take care of the gang! Sorry for the trouble.
It's fine. This is the end. There are leaves around, and I know. Clear weather all around. It's the heart.
Quiet. What's the point?
Naganohara's fireworks are the best in Inazuma.
Is to have the patience to intelligence. The new book from the Publishing House.
exposed with the same mistakes over and over. New explorers make the same mistakes over and over.
Time to go.
Headquarters of the Tenryu. Commoners are forbidden from entry.
Time to go. Time to go. Time to go.
You can find everything and anything.
speak to President Sato.
Time to go.
Wonder when I'll be able to see him. According to the letter...
Sorry, we don't serve the general
Wait! Where...
Well then, you must be a couple of wandering outlanders.
Are our clothes really so... oh!
The Yashiro Commission's seal. This must be from... In which case, welcome to the...
Well, that sounds more like it. Well, now that we're here, where's Toma? Paimon doesn't see him anywhere. Do you think he forgot his promise to meet us?
Who forgot their promise? I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
What? Is that dog talking to us?
Relax, no need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form? Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when you were in Liyue Harbor?
Now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
Alright, I've had my fun.
Hey! You're this close to getting an ugly nickname, mister!
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you for so long, as was the case in Rito. So I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Miss Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face...
Don't think that, Paimon!
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies. Let me just say this. You've often found yourself skirting the rules. Naturally, this is due to your unwavering... A long time ago, we had a friend who was much the same. But when the lightning struck... So you've heard of his story. His light still burns all the more brightly. Yes, of course. I will bring you to the Kamisato residence, but before that, there is one other place I was...
Oh?
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god.
Taking a stroll in the middle of a downpour certainly rouses the spirit. But it's best to dry your clothes as soon as possible after the rain stops.
This area sure feels gloomy. People probably don't come here often, do they? Huh? Are Paimon's eyes playing tricks? Or are there things embedded in the statue?
Visions.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the Vision Hunt decree are put into the statue?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt decree. Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of freedom, and Liyue is the city of contracts. As for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The Eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs and the Sakoku Decree to limit the people's movement. The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end to the other without disturbing it for all time.
Seems like every god has their own will.
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind the recent Vision Hunt decree, perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability to exist. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryou Commission to scour the nation for visions, embedding each one in this statue. And this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, wouldn't you say that the Raiden Shogun is being, I don't know, selfish?
Only outlanders such as yourselves would ever dare speak out so directly against the Raiden Shogun. And yet, I agree. The Vision Hunt decree is something that simply should not exist. And Miss Kamisato has been committed to fighting it since the day it was announced.
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like your mind is elsewhere.
Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything. Did something happen?
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then what?
Aspirations? That would seem to confirm the saying. Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents their ambition. So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined. Alright, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
Finally!
For Inazuma, I'm not sure this is...
Time to go.
Inazuma. I'm not sure this is going to the future.
One with nature. The wind knows me.
Stand with me!
Brings a smile to my face.
How's this?
Think you can bully me?
Into the wind.
To the very
Brings a smile to my face. One with nature.
Our bond is strong.
Look at you, Boozle.
As one with wind and cloud.
I'll settle this. I'm going in.
The wind knows me. Fallen leaves, adorn my night! Brings a smile to my face. One with nature!
I suppose. So, this is the kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be snazzier.
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guests. Miss Kamisato is delighted to finally meet you.
Is this the Shirasage Himegimi you keep going on about? So, where's she at? Oh, behind the screen?
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving guests. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is an unwelcome surprise.
Makes sense. She's a super important person after all.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the times. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled underfoot. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds, given the contact we are required to have with them in the performance of our duties. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation without also remaining indifferent to our own fate. Traveler, lend us your power, and we can... Oh.
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take us nowhere.
No, please! Wait! Please, don't go! I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small wishes on my behalf.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world. Does Paimon got that right?
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. Then you have my gratitude.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Told us about.
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden, after all these years?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had no time to prepare. The children are desperate for you to take them out to play. Please, we urge you to reconsider.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about. Let's go over and see.
Ah, you must also be here. Teijima has protected this place ever since he arrived here 30 years ago. Keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels between the villagers. He has put an enormous amount of work into looking after this place, and we all think the world of him. But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans to leave us. We can't help but wonder, was it something we did? We will gladly apologize if that's the case. All we want is for him to stay.
If you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt decree. It's clear that Teijima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. After that, he became a completely different person. I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. He went off on a walk, alone, circled the village a few times, and then out of the blue, he announced that he was going to leave and become a wanderer. Truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here is the right thing to do. But equally, it doesn't feel right to let him leave when he's in this state. He's a lost soul.
Seems like he's a well-respected guy around here. You must be Teijima. So what's made you want to up and leave all of a sudden?
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of what reason I would have to stay. True, but that's not why I chose to stay here. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why have I never wanted to leave in all that time? I don't have answers to those questions because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took my vision away, it's like a slice of my memory is gone. In the past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now. So I thought, what's to stop me from moving around instead? The emptiness inside me will be there either way.
Okay, hope you rediscover the reason you... But if you can't remember... Oh! Maybe if you just try a little...
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I...
I keep a diary?
Oh, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying...
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from...
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary.
This looks like Tejima's diary, all right? Let's see what we have here. Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little, so I had to pretend that it was black snakehead instead. Today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was still in the water. I searched the water the whole afternoon before finding out that Bamboo was the name of his pet crab. I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was never going to get it back, so I just found somewhere to sit and watch as it flew away into the distance. Seems like your average diary of daily village life. Huh? Wait, there's more! I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The Omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most treasured possession. Now that's the kind of info we're looking for. Time to pay a visit to the shrine. So this is the Omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design, Paimon would have thought it belonged to a child. But anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of his elemental energy remained on it. Do you think that it might come in handy? The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Tejima Bear must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick... It looks like a letter. The paper's gone yellow. Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again? So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for someone. But he's been here for 30 years! Oh, guess they didn't show up in the end, huh? Well, let's go give Tejima...
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess the Omamorian letter belonged to me too. But I have no memory of anything that's written in this diary. Still, it's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait for 30 years. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting, anything that I could share with her when we were finally reunited. And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. The time has flown by so quickly. 30 years feels like the blink of an eye. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Now that I think about it, when my vision was taken from me, it felt like I'd suddenly been hollowed out. Love, regret, everything I felt for her, it's all disappeared. No, not especially. After all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face, her voice, the things we experienced together. I barely recall any of it. It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. I think maybe not. Although, what if she were to turn up eventually? When I think about it like that, how curious. Why am I thinking? I shall remain here.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay. Seems it's just like Ayaka and Tomo were saying. That certainly explains at least we were able to help him, weren't we? According to Miss Kamisato, this... They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma, the ones actually enforcing the Vision Hunt decree. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food! We demand an explanation!
How many times do you know anything about emergency provisions?
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential! Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai!
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this!
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be passing by! We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. He's keeping the provisions for himself, I just know it!
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true... It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. My own family can barely get by as it is. Now, that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision.
Well, that's strange. You were helping him for...
To be perfectly... All I know is that I would perform certain things every month. And...
Does it have to do with the missing emergency...
I didn't take any. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders. Which is why I came here in the first... If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoard...
But we better confirm. We should be able to find...
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods.
You haven't seen anything yet. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you... You demand, boss!
These seem like the treasure hoarders...
Another
The
time.
wind knows as one with wind and cloud. Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone. Kurosawa. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh?
So what did you see in...
Food supplies. You kidding? That place was a complete mess. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal?
You've got a deal. Now show us what...
Huh?
What the?
There's nothing...
Yeah, a lot of them too. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store. We better talk to this Miss Aoi. As for you guys, you're free...
Yes. So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs.
Shut it.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need. Can I? Or perhaps there's something... Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it?
Whoa! How did Kurosawa end up owing...
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foods. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer...
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they... So he deemed it necessary to take...
Wow. And no one ever appreciated what he did. They just...
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the... Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was... As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provision... If you're still curious, why don't you go... I see. Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that...
Sword?
Oh, didn't he tell... I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was... In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Why don't you ask him about the sword? Oh, but before you... Information is all... Don't worry. I won't charge much for information.
At least we now know where the emergency provision... Let's go talk to Kurosawa.
Into the wind.
What are you doing here all by your...
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. They left. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Perhaps I should start using it more often. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up. It turns out that...
Strange. I don't really have any such recollection. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? But I could not deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that this sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade. What did he say? It would seem that I forgot many important things when all I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade and said to me, with this sword, you should...
Hey, if you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the hilt. Can you recognize the words?
Virtue and justice? Somehow those two words seem taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. But what use are virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those in need. And look how things ended up. The Tenryo Commission seized my vision. And the irony of all of it is, I'm incapable of being a good person. Yet
another trouble. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all ambition is fortunately for us. You don't have a vision. Let's go find the next port. The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword master around these parts. Paimon heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. Sounds pretty impressive. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around. Let's go talk to them.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end, didn't he?
Maybe, but I'm still worried about him. Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him.
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place, he'll be right as rain in no time.
Hey there! Did something happen?
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is in... Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No! You got it so wrong. We just came here to...
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. It's the whole reason we came all this way. But then we got here and overheard you...
From the way you're dressed, please, accept my apologies. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, Sensei's name is Domon. A name I'm sure you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He once said that his goal was to become the best, and so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. His fervor truly inspired us. But then...
Not long ago, Sensei he says the strangest things over and over. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's being possessed by an evil spirit. But if I'm honest,
The Grand Narukami Shrine...
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty Shogun herself. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine would have clear paths, so don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be just fine. The exorcism will take place this evening.
So, losing your vision can cause possession?
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. You would have had to witness Sensei in one of his fits of madness. Just now, when Nanako was attending to him, she heard him whispering a few names to himself. When she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken and pushed her away. It looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around him with bloodshot eyes. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew. Others we didn't recognize. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But Sensei defeated him in a duel many years ago. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently... Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch...
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? We won't let them get away with it! Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha! Suspicious person sighted! That's gotta be him!
How did... Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? Unless...
Excuse me? And what are you doing sneaking around these...
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side... I don't care to talk about that time anymore.
His senior?
Anzai? Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated. When we were young, we trained under the same sword master. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me. Practitioners of Make-Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve, but Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go. Sensei scolded him, and I thought so too. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who... He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He
Sure sounds like he meant business.
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match. Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei, too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately, after that I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down, though, I still So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete... So you see... Not to... Okay, you've heard my story.
Seems like we got it wrong. Still, Paimon's not sure we should...
The wind knows me.
What? You're saying he isn't possessed? Does that mean that he's just lost his mind? But how...
Nanako, please.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit having possessed Domon. But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. Thus, and all is certainly not lost, for I received word not...
Lady Yai? Is that...
The head shrine maiden of the Grand...
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit...
Excuse me, Miss Inagi.
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself...
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just mean this is Lady Yai. Anyway, given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei...
Sure! After all, who knows? Maybe we'll be...
brings a smile to my face. Time to go. A fateful offering.
The insolent shall be punished.
One with nature. That hurts!
Become...
Into the wind.
Got you. Out of my sight.
One with nature. Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
Out of my way. Think you can bully me? Get out of here. Out of the way.
The wind knows me.
Sayonara special!
Into the wind.
This body belongs to ice and snow.